15 stocks to buy and hold till 2030. That's what we're getting into here today, guys. I'm going to share with you a list of 15 stocks and a little bullish thesis on these stocks and why these stocks are buy and hold type stocks for the next 7 or 8 years. You buy them, you throw them in the filing cabinet. You don't worry about if they miss earnings or if they beat earnings. You don't worry about what's going on geopolitically. None of that stuff. All the stuff that stresses you out in the financial markets, right? You don't worry about trying to time in and out of these stocks and try to get in them at the perfect price and out of them at the perfect price. You don't worry about any of that when it comes to these sorts of companies I'm sharing with you in this list here today, these 15 stocks, because these are the type of 15 stocks that have tremendous growth in front of them over the next basically 7 or 8 years and have beautiful futures. And, I would say there's a very, very high probability that these stocks will be much higher prices 7 or 8 years from now than they are today. Some of these stocks on this list don't have much risk at all, while others have a little more risk, but they have those sorts of, triple up type opportunities, 5x, 10x type opportunities in front of themselves. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this. All I ask in return is that you smash the thumbs up button. I appreciate you guys joining me. Also, thank you to FTX US for being my official crypto partner. I'll tell you guys a little bit about FTX a little bit later in this video. Alrighty guys, so Shopify, first stock of these 15 stocks. This is a company that's very well run, been a growth beast of a company. Now recently, the stock price has come back considerably, right? From the peak, it was over $1,700 a share. Here it is, $500 and some change. I think this is one of those, buy it, throw it in the filing cabinet type stocks. At the end of the day, Shopify has a tremendous runway of growth in front of this company over the next 7 or 8 years. And not just in terms of revenue growth, but in terms of that bottom line growth as well. All the valuation metrics for this company have come down considerably, whether you're talking about PE, forward P, price to sales ratio, market capitalization, everything's obviously come down dramatically since its November peak around there. And so this is a stock I look at, and in the short term, it's been hurt basically by obviously e-commerce not being, I don't want to say e-commerce is in a slow period right now, but we went through kind of a boom time for e-commerce. So that's obviously, helped Shopify in a massive way. Now that's kind of gone away. The world's opening back up. And so a lot of folks look at that as a short-term kind of bad thing for Shopify's business model. But at the end of the day, all that type of stuff doesn't even matter in the end when you're a company like Shopify and you have this tremendous runway of growth in front of yourselves for the next 7 or 8 years. So I look at a company like Shopify and their entire business model. They'll continue to innovate. They'll continue to come out with products and services that don't even exist today, right? When you're talking about one of these type of game-changing companies, they continue to come out with game-changing products and services in the future that you don't even see in front of yourself today. So I look at Shopify as one of those companies, and I think this is absolutely a great company for the next 7 or 8 years, okay? Palantir, number 2 of these 15 stocks. Palantir is at the cross-sections of artificial intelligence and data, and basically, if you're a company, obviously, their traditional business was government-related, right? And that still is a huge part of their business, but now they're getting much more into businesses using them, specifically large enterprises. All right. Now, when it comes to a company like Palantir, if you're a big company, I think you've got to consider using Palantir. And the reason being is this is a company that can help you potentially make much better decisions for your company overall by using artificial intelligence and the data your company has, and basically taking everything into account and saying, hey, we should make this move next in our business model. We need to order this much inventory, whatever it is, right? And help you do it on a smarter level and much more in-depth level than potentially any other competitor that's ever tried to compete against them has ever done, okay? And so when it comes to a stock like Palantir, I look at a company that has great revenue growth opportunity over the next 7 or 8 years, but also you're talking about a company that has a sticky business model long-term and potentially some great profitability and margins long-term. I think about Palantir as well. So I really like Palantir. I think it's in a great position for the next 7 or 8 years, and I think this is just a great year to, kind of be an adder of shares of this company. Number 3 of 15, Wynn Resorts. So Wynn Resorts, if you don't know, they got, tremendous properties, like some of the best properties you can imagine in the world. In my city, I live in Las Vegas. They have 2 great properties, the Wynn and the Encore. They also own another little piece of land here that we'll see what they do with that over time. They own 3 big properties in Macau, Wynn Palace being the premier property for them over there. Now, in terms of recently, right? Obviously, the stock price has been damaged because Macau has still kind of been shut down. All the China shutdowns have hurt Wynn in a massive way. So its stock is kind of down and out right now, right? Eventually China will open back up for real, and all those restrictions and all that stuff is going to go away. Okay. And so it's just kind of like a ticking thing where it's like, okay, when's this finally going to end? It's just a matter of time. The Las Vegas properties have been putting up tremendous numbers, like some of the best numbers they've ever put up. Strip's been amazing. So now it's just about Macau coming back online. Wynn's a great company with great properties. People with a lot of money like to go to the Wynn properties and spend a lot of money. And so I think Wynn's, anytime, just keep this in mind, okay? Anytime Wynn is under $100 a share, it's usually a very, 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 very good value. Anytime, Wynn's under $70, that's when you're getting a steal deal. And that very rarely happens, but every once in a while you can get it for under 70. Right now, it is right around $70 a share for Wynn Resorts, okay? Number 415, by the way, Wynn has another property in Boston I just forgot to mention, which is like a couple $1 billion property over there as well, okay? And that's a great property for them. Number 415, Honest Corporation, HNST. It's a company that was started by Jessica Alba, probably a little over a decade ago now. And it's a company that they really understand marketing on a higher level. Diapers, wipes, beauty products, soaps, shampoos, all those sorts of things. They're kind of building into a mini Procter & Gamble. And what Procter & Gamble represented, right? For like the baby boomer generation, I think Honest is going to represent that to the millennials and the future generations. I think they really understand marketing on a better level than those traditional companies do. And I look at a company like Honest at $4 a share at a market cap of $400 million. And they're ones taking market share right now and at a price to sales ratio of 1.3. The company's just insanely undervalued. I think it's extremely low risk in the stock. And I think there's, an extremely high probability that this is a $20+ stock within the next few years. Never mind where the stock is in the year 2030. And the interesting thing that will play out in Honest, in my opinion, over the next 7 or 8 years is this company will be seen go from, when they went public last year, right? They're seen as more of a risky play to by the end of this decade, they'll be seen as a safety play. And people will flock to a stock like an Honest in times of wanting to flock to a safety stock. So that'll be an interesting thing that kind of plays out there. I love Honest. Obviously, this is a stock I'm personally buying very heavily right now and plan to continue to for the rest of 2022. And I think I will make a lot of money on that one, okay? And sometimes late at night, I just sit up thinking and I think about, wouldn't it be amazing, like so amazing, and I know this is just a dream, but wouldn't it be amazing if there was some sort of crypto exchange that existed out there where folks could buy things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, NFTs, stuff like that, other cryptos, easily, securely, and with no fixed fees. And sometimes I think to myself, that must just be too good to be true, isn't it? Well, no, that is not just a dream. That is a reality. That is FTX US. Yes, FTX US is my official crypto partner, and that is a place that you can easily, securely buy things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, your other favorites, cryptos, NFTs, all with no fixed fees. And if you check out the pinned comment down there, there'll be to a link to sign up directly through my link, essentially. Don't forget to use my referral code, which is Holy Smokers. Yes, you heard me right. Holy Smokers. And essentially, you will get a free coin with your first $10 traded on there, which is pretty dang amazing. So check out pinned comment down there, sign up for FTX US. And also, FTX, thank you for sponsoring today's video, as always. Next one up here, number 515, Facebook, now called Meta. Valuations come down in an insane way. I mean, this stock is cheaper today than you could have bought this stock back at periods in 2018. Think about that for a moment. Here we are in 2022. You get Facebook, the B set is Facebook. You get Instagram, the B set is Instagram. You get WhatsApp, you get Facebook Messenger, you get all the platforms inside that, right? You also get Oculus, which is one of the leading players in virtual reality. And obviously, Zuckerberg and the whole team is focused very much on the metaverse opportunity in front of this company. Great balance sheet, great income statement, tremendous growth ahead of this company for a long, long time to go in the future. Now, one last thing I think is worth mentioning when it comes to Meta is obviously TikTok, major competitor to Facebook, Instagram, and different platforms. Obviously, Facebook has, and I think that's worth mentioning, right? But do keep this in mind. Facebook does a great job of copying competitors. They did this with Snapchat when Snapchat stories were taking off, and that was like a big threat to Instagram. They included that into Instagram, and that became like this huge thing for Instagram and a next level of growth. And so with Instagram Reels, I think they could definitely compete with TikTok over the long term there, okay? Next one up here, number 6 of 15 of these stocks to buy and hold till 2030 is Oatly. Another $4 stock here, right? $2.5 billion market cap. So they make oat milk, which is, if you're really into, understanding kind of the trends of the food industry, oat milk is this massive growing industry that is, I would say, kind of slowly starting to replace traditional cow milk. And they've got other products coming, basically ice cream products, yogurt products, things like that. And so, this is a tremendous growth company growing at 40-50% type growth rates here recently. And the great thing about Oatly is this is an international company. So they actually have a facility in China now. They have facilities in Europe. They have facilities in the United States now. And so this is becoming almost, I don't want to call them almost an overnight global brand, but, no one ever heard of Oatly probably 5-6 years ago. And now this is a brand that's becoming very, very famous, very, very fast, and building a really, really strong brand reputation. So if I think about a company that's a food and drink giant in the future years, this is definitely a company like Oatly setting up very well. Their management team understands branding, marketing on a high level, and great products at the end of the day, because they do have these superior products in everywhere that they compete. Okay, so next one up here, number 7 of 15, PayPal. PayPal. You want to talk about a steal deal of a stock? That is PayPal right now. So when it comes to PayPal, think about this for a moment. They own the number 2 and number 3 most popular finance-related apps on the entire app store, right? In obviously PayPal and Venmo. And both those are huge growth engines for this company overall. $126 billion market cap that's come down tremendously. Price to sales ratio under 5 for this company right now. P of around 30, a forward P even under that. Price to book of the 5 range right now for this company. So I look at a company that just has a great runway of growth in front of themselves for the next 5-10 years. I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. A great management team at that company. And I would call it a steal deal of a stock right now, and a tremendous time to, obviously, this is actually one I'm personally buying right now too. I think this is just a steal deal of a time to buy PayPal. Next one up here, number 8 of 15 stocks, Amazon. So Amazon's interesting, right? Obviously we all know about Amazon's e-commerce platform, which is getting bigger and bigger over time. We all know about Amazon Web Services that just continues to grow and grow and grow. Their advertising business, which just is an absolute growth beast. But when it comes to Amazon's stock price, this baby hasn't moved in what seemed like forever, right? June of 2020, this was a stock that was above where the shares trade at today. Think about that for a moment. In June of 2020, all right? And so this is, I think, every once in a while you get Amazon to kind of consolidate for, let's say a couple of years, and you get this kind of opportunity to just buy shares and add shares. And so this is one of those rare opportunities you get in Amazon. You kind of had one of those opportunities in here as well. And then obviously the stock kind of makes it a very, very nice run. And you can look at Amazon's complete, the past 20 years, and you'll see these time periods where the stock just kind of chilled out, didn't really do much for a couple of years, and then it goes on this epic kind of run, then it chills out for a couple of years, then it goes on another epic run. And so that's what I think setting up here when it comes to Amazon. And I think the company's, the most attractive valuation that I've ever seen Amazon by far in the company's history. Great balance sheet, great income statement, great growth, and I love Amazon. Next one up here, number 9 of 15, is Eli Callaway Golf. So you might think, okay, this is a golf equipment play, right? Selling golf clubs, golf balls, things like that. That's one component of Eli's business, and it is an important part of their business. But actually, I think the more intriguing thing, if you think about the next 7 or 8 years for Eli's business, is they now own all of a company named Topgolf, okay? Now, if you've ever been to a Topgolf facility, you understand these places are amazing. People love going to them, and people like spending a lot of money at those Topgolf places, okay? And they're hard to replicate because they're very, very costly to get the land for one of those facilities, get that employee force, build those facilities, very, very costly, right? And so when I look at Callaway, I see a company that is in a tremendous opportunity to grow that Topgolf side of their business alone to be a business that is worth $10 billion plus, if not $20 billion over the next 7 or 8 years. Never mind Eli's traditional business, which is selling golf clubs and golf balls and those sorts of things. So I look at this as this is one of the most intriguing opportunities, I think, in the market from a perspective of not really looking at it for its traditional known brand, but actually for that second layer, which is Topgolf, which I think over time will become by far and away the most valuable part of Eli's overall business model. So I absolutely love this stock, and especially as its valuation has come down now, right? And Who knows, maybe this valuation even goes under $4 billion. And I think it's just a great stock, to put in the filing cabinet and add shares for the next 7 or 8 years. Next one up here, number 10 of 15 stocks. You guys knew this one was going to have to be on here. Anybody that's a core watcher of my channels knew this one was going to have to be on here. TTCF, Tattooed Chef, company in the plant-based food movement that's growing massively into a massive growing sector that has, decades of growth in front of it. They continue to grow SKUs. They're growing stores faster than they ever anticipated. They're getting into new product categories. The company's just done a tremendous job. And the best part of this is they've started their business in the worst margin situation you could possibly imagine. And so their margins will just continue to improve and improve and improve and improve over the coming years. And that's a rare thing you find out there. A lot of times companies' margins can kind of be shaky up or down. Tattooed Chef, I look at a very rare opportunity where this company will improve margins every single year for years and years to go in the future, because they started their business literally at the bottom in the worst case scenario for a business model like a Tattooed Chef, to be a frozen company in a time where shipping, container costs, transportation is at record highs, right? Everything's just like, you couldn't have started a business pretty much at a worse time, but they're building a great brand there. Their margins will improve. They'll become a profit machine. And by the end of this decade, in my opinion, this will be one of those stocks that people will start to look at as a safety play, which is crazy because a lot of people look at it right now as a risky play, right? Because it's kind of a newer company in the public markets. It's, no one ever heard of the brand 2 years ago, and now they're starting to be coming in all these stores, and their sell-through is amazing and those sorts of things. But, it'll end up becoming a safety stock by the end of this decade, and that will be quite intriguing to see how that plays out. Teladoc, stock number 11 of 15 here, TDoc stock. So virtual healthcare play. If you think about virtual healthcare over the next 5-10 years, right? There's a space that's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Now, obviously, they had a kind of a huge ramp up in their business because of Rona, and that's kind of gone away now. But at the end of the day, this company should still grow and grow and grow for future years. And like I said, virtual healthcare, when it comes to physical, when it comes to mental, all those sorts of things are just going to get bigger and bigger for this company, and they're the premier player there. And so I look at a company like Teladoc that just has too big of an opportunity to ignore, in my personal opinion, okay? So that's Teladoc. Stock number 12 of 15 up here is Square stock, SQ. Square. So obviously Square has its traditional business of like restaurants or retail stores or whatever will use, Square checkout, right? Or invoicing or different things like that. And back when I had my real estate marketing company, I actually personally used Square. But actually they actually own the number one most popular app in the entire app store when it comes to the finance category, which is Cash App. That's a huge opportunity for this company over the next, 5-10 years. And so I look at a stock like Square. Stock's obviously been beaten down recently. Obviously, the company's gotten rewarded for the Cash App, but I think they got a lot more rewards coming to themselves over the coming years. Price to sales ratio of around 3, very focused on, blockchain technology, crypto, and a lot of other things in the future for Square. And so I think Jack Dorsey's, really, really focused in there. And I think that's got a tremendous opportunity in front of itself. So Square, like that one. Number 13 of 15 of these stocks, Netflix. Now, if you know me, I've never been a fan of Netflix's valuation, so I've never been able to ever, talk good about Netflix stock. And here I am, finally being able to put a stock like Netflix on the list of stocks that I think are great buys for the next 7 or 8 years. And the reason being is, this stock's valuation has come down massively. First off, this stock price was higher in 2018, kind of similar to a Meta situation, right? And so the valuation metrics have gotten very, very compelling now. PE ratio of 30 on the stock. Price to book under 10 now for the stock. Price to sales ratio of around 5 for the stock. Everything has come down quite dramatically while the business is still grown and grown. And I look at a company like Netflix. Obviously, they have their traditional business. But I also think there's other spaces they're going to get in over the next 5-10 years that they're not really competing in right now, that's outside of just shows and movies and original content like they produce. And I think about their recurring revenue stream. I think about it not being the most expensive thing in the world, so it's something that a lot of people will like to cut, even in tough times, and in great times, people still love it as well. So Netflix, for the first time ever, has been able to be featured on one of these, stocks that I actually think is a great buy for the next 7 or 8 years. And I don't know if I ever thought that I'd see the day where I would say that, but here we are, and that's the moment. Okay, 14 of 15. of these stocks I think is a great buy for the next 7-8 years is Beyond Meat, BYND. Though this brand has become very, very famous, right? Through all their partnerships with all these fast food companies, and they've built into this company and this brand now that is very, very famous, not just in the United States of America, but even outside the United States of America. So I look at Beyond Meat and I see a company that has tremendous opportunity to grow their traditional business, which is like selling, patties that replace burger patties and sausages and things like that. But also I look at a brand that has all these fast food partnerships and with their McDonald's deal. I look at a company that has great opportunity in the snack space. I got their new plant-based beef jerky, which you can find on Amazon, which is tremendous. I love it. Everybody I've given that to has pretty much liked it as well. And so I think that has a great opportunity and for a lot more snack items over time for a company like Beyond Meat. So I look at this company and I see a company that's got a very bright future over the next 7 or 8 years in front of it. $2.7 billion market cap here today on this company. Price to sales ratio of under 6 on this one. And obviously, I think they'll get profitable in about 2 years from now, essentially. They're not going to be profitable this year. I don't think they'll be profitable in 23, but I do expect them to be profitable in 24 and moving forward, okay? Last stock up here, Dropbox, number 15 of 15 of these stocks. Dropbox is a cloud company, e-signing a documents company. Stock's never been understood by Wall Street. If you pull up a 5-year, the stock's down 21% in the past 5 years. And I see a valuation play here, and I see a company that Wall Street's going to understand on a higher level in future years. And I see a company that is, has a very sticky business model that's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow over the coming years. And so I look at Dropbox and I see a great opportunity. And I think this is I think this is one of those type of stocks that it comes with very little risk and will probably easily triple up or quadruple up over basically the next 7 or 8 years. So that's Dropbox. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, let me know if you are buying any of these stocks. If you own any of these stocks, I would love to hear from you guys as always. Also, make sure to check out the pinned comment down there for FTX US and take advantage of that great opportunity there as well. Thank you for watching and have a great day.